Just a moment.
Look, I didn't set out to review games that appeared on the PlayStation Classic, it just kinda happened. Speaking of, in case you forgot, here's how people reacted to Battle Arena Toshinden being included on it.
What? What?
Battle Arena Toshinden was the 10th game ever released for the PS1 and a launch title outside of Japan. You know what that means. Doll boxes are back, and you know that the labels are black. Stop me if you've heard this in a fighting game before, but there's a tournament happening. A shady organization called The Organization invites 8 combatants to take part. Are some of these combatants linked to each other story-wise? Yes. Does this ever come up anywhere outside the instruction booklet? No. There's not much in the way of variety to Battle Arena Toshinden, sporting 3 modes of play: single player, versus, and versus computer. The versus computer part actually surprised me a bit, since many fighting games from around this time didn't have that. But otherwise it's like many old school fighters, even down to the 8-person roster, no clones, thankfully, with a couple codes for hidden characters. Well, that and everyone insists on calling out their attacks.
I never give up!
That's assuming you can hear them over the music, which is a strange mix of MIDI-based genres that I was put off by at first. But some of the tracks are really catchy. It looks alright for an early PlayStation game, though it's pretty clear most of the polygons went toward the fighters and not so much the stages or backgrounds. Animation-wise, it's hit and miss. Several animations can be interrupted with an attack button, making timing certain attacks or defending against them tricky. Some attacks look pretty good, others look pretty goofy. But in general, several of them seem pretty slow, particularly falling to the ground. I'd say this is part design flaw, part 3D growing pains. Remember, another game from around this time, Virtua Fighter, had down-to-earth martial arts moves, but on-the-moon jumping physics. Everyone gets a weak and strong weapon attack and kick. Regular attacks will change a bit depending on how close you are to the opponent. In addition, each character has 3 or 4 special moves, plus a powerful secret move. The inputs for these usually involve quarter circles or half circles, or for the more powerful secret moves, something resembling 2 half circles. If you're looking to pull off a lot of lengthy combos and air juggle people, this is not the game for you. Usually the closest thing to a combo is hitting a couple weak attacks, followed by a strong attack and or a special move. I actually don't mind that compared to, say, getting caught in a juggle and knowing I can take a bathroom break while it's going on. There's no safeguard for falling off the side of the stage, but given how huge most of the stages are and the movement options available, that usually wasn't an issue. Though it did lead to some cheap victories on my part, particularly against Sophia. Despite what I've mentioned earlier, I can't say this game is dirt simple for 3 reasons. 1. Desperation moves. Ever heard the expression, a cornered animal is almost as dangerous as a wounded one? Well, when the health bar starts flashing red, a unique special attack called a desperation move becomes available. It's more flashy, and if it lands, can do a fair amount of damage, giving the wounded warrior a chance at a comeback. 2. Damage scaling. Attacks will do 1.5 times their normal damage if hitting the opponent while they're in an attack animation, or if they hit them in the back. Which leads me to 3. Rolling. Battle Arena Toshinden was one of the earliest 3D fighters to truly go 3D, allowing the player a form of sideways movement. It's an important one too, because a well-timed roll can lead to those back attacks and counters that I mentioned earlier. You get invulnerability frames while doing it, or at least the ability to avoid most attacks. And all of this leads me to the following realization. Battle Arena Toshinden skews more towards zoning and defensive play. Considering that's my natural playstyle, maybe that's why I ended up liking it more than others. Or maybe it's because I'm not the type to judge older games by standards that didn't exist at the time. Take your pick.
No problem!
While I do enjoy it, Battle Arena Toshinden also has short text endings for everyone, which Look, when it comes to story in fighting games, either put the effort into it, or don't have it at all. This half-assery won't stand. There's also a surprising amount of options to play with. Difficulty is self-explanatory, except for the part where certain difficulties allow the shoulder buttons to perform special moves. Blocking can be done automatically instead of having to hold back. The camera can be moved around to another fixed position, or set to yourself, taking out the L and R functions so that you can change it on the fly. It's okay, double tapping down also sidesteps. Whether you enjoy it or not, Ballerina Toshinden is a fighting game that, in its early incarnations, helped raise the bar for what a 3D fighting game could accomplish. The series did not keep pace with its competitors like Virtua Fighter or Tekken or its sort of successor Soul Calibur, though I personally like Ballerina Toshinden too, in case my using music from it for several videos over the years isn't enough indication. Speaking of,